same level. It might have been like either which one of us was on that weekend. But I mean, with me, it was Julie Lindsay, it was Lee Donovan, Deanna Bowling. Those were the girls that I knew were going to be at the race every weekend. And so I knew I had to try during my week training.
Okay.
Um, and then at the race, it was like, if I beat Lee, it was like, oh my God, thank God I beat Lee, even though I knew I could beat her. It was like we all were, I think, at the same level. It just who was on that weekend.
I thought Lee Donovan was the same age as Sherry. Apparently not. She must have been younger than.
No, she's my age. Yeah, Lee's my age. Lee and I were me, Lee, and Julie Lindsay were. That was us three.
And she went on to become like a major international mountain biker, right?
She did. Congratulations. I love it. Yeah, she's like some like total women's advocate for mountain biking. And yeah, she ended up taking off with all the SoCal, people after BMX and did her thing. And I've watched a lot of her stuff and followed her, and yeah, good for her, man. I'm so proud of her.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. So I'm sorry, I went on a tangent. So you went on snowboarding, and then what made you come back? One more question. Nationals. I've only raced one national my entire life, and I got blown out as a beginner. Um, it was horrible. You were around in '83. I mean, did you race the Griffith Park National in Southern California?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, all right.
And I could have. I don't know. I got in the back of the BMX like station wagon, and I ended up wherever they ended up.
Yeah, I can hear with that, but I got blown out. It was a terrible experience. I always wondered, if I would have raced another national, I might have made out of my motos. Got taken out in the semi. But how did it feel? I mean, how did you at nationals? Were you like, obviously you made out of your motos, right? You make mains, you win motos, or you win mains, or you get the mains. What typically happened with you when you hit a national?
I mean,
Then
I have my whole
then versus now.
I, I mean, I have my whole resume. I pretty much, I would go years completely undefeated. Um, and then you'd have some years and I broke a lot of bones, so I was out a lot of times. I broke both my thumbs, both my arms, three, four, five, six times, both my collarbones two or three times. I've broken my face. I broke my sternum. I've cracked my tailbone a couple times. Um, I almost in Lake Elsinore at a national, I fell. They thought I broke my neck. It was raining. EMS, the ambulance couldn't get into the parking lot, so they had to load me in the back of my mom's minivan. And they had to try to tow her out of the parking lot to get up to the main road to take me to the hospital. Thank God I didn't break my neck. Um, so it just depended, but I mean, for the most part, I pretty much dominated every year. And then a lot of, and then like when I was up for the title, that me and Nikki Murray were up for the title, and Julie Lindsay and I crashed. Lee Donovan won that race. Nikki Murray at 9 years old took the title. And I think that's just nerves getting the best of you and getting squirrely.
When you say undefeated, what does that mean? You won every race that year, or what is that?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I have, yeah. My mom kept that picture, that Chandler book binder thing I sent you. Like, my mom's got resumes, and she's got everybody's placing, whether it been local, national, our whole team, whether it was Future Weld, JD Finney, John Reyna, like all of our guys out here. She has all of our placements. Holly fell and broke her arm, out for 6 weeks. Holly came back after blah blah blah. So I've got it all written down. But yeah, I mean, there were years that I went every race and never lost, like undefeated till the grands. And then my nerves got the best of me and I crashed.
That's incredible. I mean, I apologize. I didn't know this. I mean, I didn't know that I was
Wow.
talking to someone that undefeated in like how would could be 100 races, 200 races. How many races could you do in a year?
We were at every race. I mean, back then, like I said, on the weekends, we would go to local races. We would race three locals on Saturday, three locals on Sunday, two or three on Friday, two mostly on Friday because we had school. And then we hit every national, but the nationals back then, it wasn't like you had a national every weekend and you didn't have two nationals every weekend. But if they were like every other weekend, I mean, we hit them all. And then I would go on tour with Pedal Power and ESP. So during the summer, I would spend that whole summer traveling from the West Coast to the East Coast putting on clinics.
And Hutch or GT, they're not knocking on the trailer door after these nationals saying we want you on the team. No,
No, no. For some reason, I never got any type of national like team offer like